Thanks for that story. That's really nice. That's really beautiful. Next up, we've got Nina Bosken, who is going to be talking to us about proactive solutions to getting rid of acne and her journey through that. And I don't actually know if it was proactive or not, but that's what she put on here. So yeah, we'll see. So let's get this popping. Get it?
I do also have my notes, but they're just on my phone, so I'm going to have to check them periodically. But yeah, so I guess, yeah, my story is about how I lost my clear skin at the age of 14 and my unsuccessful fight to get it back. You're probably looking at my face going, like, what's wrong with it? Well, one, you're at a distance. Two, I'm wearing makeup, and I've always said that acne is, like, way easier for girls because we can just, like, put foundation and powder on it, and it's, like, almost as if it doesn't exist. But I'm going to tell you, it does exist, and it sucks. So yeah, I guess I was 14 when it first happened, and it was really painful. And I was like always hoping that I would be like one of those kids that would like not get acne, and I hate my friends that like have never had a breakout because I have some of those friends and they are just like some of the luckiest people in the world. But it was really painful, and so I remember my mom took me to the dermatologist, and throughout high school it was just a variety of pills, creams, and towards the end I got on Proactive, and it would keep it at about 90%. Like 90% of it was gone. There was still that 10% that was there that would just bug me. That it was just like, it was never going to go away. So that lasted for like the next 10 years of my life. So when I was 24, I decided maybe I should like try to get rid of this thing. Maybe I should, maybe there's a better way. Maybe Proactive is not the thing. Like, you know, and I was 24. Most people at the age of 24, like, their skin's done breaking out. Like, they're on the road, and I was not on the road, and I'm still not on the road at 26. I don't know when I'll ever be on the road, but anyway. So I first switched to a different product. One of my friends told me that Murad apparently cleared her skin up, and so I try it, and it's about a week, and I remember I woke up one morning, and it was just like awful. It was just like the bottom half, like my chin, all of this was just like tons and tons of zits. I know it sounds really gross, I'm sorry. But it was like zits on top of zits, if that's possible. It is possible, it's disgusting, it's painful. It's called cystic acne, like that's like the term, but it's just disgusting really, and painful, and people stare at you. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try this product, maybe I'll stick with this product, and then I thought like using makeup like was a bad idea because that could like get in there. And so anyway, yeah, I mean, you know, you get stares from people, and I was working with children at the time, which was fun, preschoolers, and preschoolers, I mean, they can sometimes be the sweetest kids, they can sometimes also, they just don't know. So I would get, what happened to your face? Like, a lot. And first of all, like, how do you explain to a 3-year-old what acne is? Like, I just don't, like, I can't even begin to, like, how do I explain that in terms that they would understand? So I would usually just say, oh, it's something you'll probably experience when you're older. And they would just look at me confused. It's like, well, you probably will. I did. So anyway, I would also have people ask me if like I had an allergic reaction to something, and I was just like, no, I'm just trying some new stuff. It's not really working out. I don't know. I know it's weird. I'm 24. It's not supposed to be happening, but it is. So I read this book by this guy who apparently got rid of his acne in 3 days, and I thought, wow, that's amazing. So I thought I'd try it, and he went on this like 3-day apples and water cleanse. That's all he did. And there's another part to it, but I'm not going to explain that because it's kind of gross. You can ask me after if you really want to know. Anyway, just not going to talk about that. But it was interesting. Only eating apples and drinking purified water for 3 days. You go through different stages when you go on a fast. Like first you're just like really hungry. You just like you do anything to eat, but you don't want to eat because like you're trying to do this thing. And then you kind of start to feel loopy, almost like you're a little drunk. And that was kind of fun, actually. Like, compared to like being really hungry, I was like kind of ready for that stage. But I was actually surprised by that stage because like I didn't even know it was going to happen, but it did. And I remember I was doing AmeriCorps at the time, and I was sitting at my AmeriCorps meeting, and I thought it'd be easier to bring around this Brita pitcher rather than just like drink bottles of water all the time. So I would just like refill my Brita pitcher and then pour glasses of water. And there was just like this pause at the meeting. It was just like the sound of me pouring my water. It was really awkward. So here I was, the awkward girl with a broken out face and pouring water. So at the end of 3 days, apparently in the book, the guy just like woke up in the morning and he had a completely clear face. I woke up. It was okay. It was better, but it wasn't gone. So then he did have a little section where it was like, your acne's not completely gone, you just have to abstain from like all sugar, all alcohol, all caffeine. And I tried that for like a little bit, but I like beer, wine, caffeine. I like sugar. And I just kind of decided that, you know, is it worth it like giving up the things that I like or whatever. So anyway, I remember I tried another line of skincare. There's a couple other failed things, and then I remember I went to the dermatologist, and that was fun. And he, like, I had to go to a new dermatologist because my old dermatologist had retired, and he immediately recommends that I go on Accutane, which, if anybody knows what that is, it's horrible. Like, if you apparently get pregnant while you're on Accutane, your baby will have birth defects, which is crazy. Like, that's scary in and of itself. But I was, like, my first thought was, like, what kickback is this doctor getting from Accutane? Like, why is that the automatic first thing? He doesn't even know my history. So I think about it, but thank God it was like my insurance did not cover it, because that was like the deciding factor. It's like, if my insurance covered it, I probably would have stupidly taken the pill. But because my insurance didn't, I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't. And I just remember I just gave up and went back to Proactive. And so here I am now, pretty much in the same boat, where I wash my face, I kind of take care of it, I put on makeup, and in most pictures it looks okay. I mean, if you really want to come to my face after this, you can kind of look around. Anyway, it's really funny to me, though. The thing that really I find funny is that even now, like even to this day, I'll get comments from a lot of my friends. It pretty much started like right after my skin cleared up, and it still continues. I'll see friends and they'll be like, "By the way, your skin looks really great," and it's like, that's a nice compliment. Like, I appreciate that, but it kind of leaves me wondering, like, what were you thinking when my skin was so broken out? Like, you know, I appreciate the compliment, I really do, but it's like, were you thinking like, oh, that's really unfortunate, I wish I could help her? Or were you grossed out? I mean, I was grossed out myself. I remember one time, actually, another thing I forgot to mention, one of them was like right here, it looked like a third eye. Just a funny little side note. I mean, you kind of have to laugh about these things because it's just so unfortunate. And I also really want to acknowledge that really this is not that unfortunate of a problem compared to like bigger world problems. That's the other thing I had to tell myself in all this, like, calm down, there are like huge problems in the world. This is not even scratch the surface. But anyway, to me it was like the biggest problem in the world at the time. Anyway, but yeah, or were these people like thinking what happened to your face, but they're not a 3-year-old, so they're not going to ask me that. So, you know, they're adults. But I usually just go, oh, thank you, thanks for the compliment. But yeah, I think the thing that I learned in all of this is that in life there are things that we just can't solve sometimes. We just can't end something. And is it more useful to try to end it and fail, or is it just, I think often it's better to just figure out how to live with it as best as you can to a point where it doesn't really affect your life. So like right now, I get up, I get ready for the day, and I don't think about this, and nobody ever says what happened to your face, which is great. But I've just found a way in which I don't have to think about it all the time, and that to me is better. And maybe someday I'll have clear skin, maybe I won't, but it's not something that's really as much of a problem as I thought it was. So it's something that I lost that maybe I'll never get back.